10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 72. Chance of rain 50%. Friday, afternoon thunderstorms developing, windy, high 91. Chance of rain 60%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Lord. Believe it freaking move.
Images from Sand Springs, Oklahoma, as an apparent tornado sliced through part of the Tulsa suburb. At least one of 7 possible tornadoes yesterday, this one with deadly impact.
Now, in the light of the day after, residents from Tulsa to Moore, Oklahoma, are getting a good look at the damage these storms did. Ahead, how these storms stack up against Oklahoma's past tornado fury, and where the system that produced this mess is now. Welcome to Weather Center Live. I'm Dave Schwartz alongside Alex Wilson.
And in Oklahoma, an all too familiar task is underway again. Residents are clearing away damage done by as many as 7 possible tornadoes.
And this is just some of the damage that is done in Moore, Oklahoma. This is on the south metro of Oklahoma City. This is an aerial view. Roofs suffered the most damage.
Moore's Medical Center also saw some damage, and it's because of damage like this that Oklahoma's governor has declared a state of emergency in 25 counties. Meteorologist Mike Seidel has watched this story unfold over the past 24 hours.
Mike, can you talk about the people in Moore and their reaction to yet another powerful tornado?
You can imagine what they went through yesterday. Fortunately, this was not a very strong twister, not like they went through 2 years ago, back in 2010, 2003, and 1999. I tell you, this area, Moore, Norman, the Bridge Creek area back in 99, just hammered, and a lot of fatalities. Fortunately, this time around, this particular twister, we assume it was a twister. We've got video confirmation. We're waiting on the confirmation from the National Weather Service. Was not nearly as strong. More than likely, what we're seeing, no more than EF2 damage. Again, that's just what we're seeing, what we've seen back at work on videotape. Nobody was killed, just a few minor injuries. But the cleanup continues on a sunny, crisp day. This house here, they've gotten that shored up roof-wise. The roof is gone. They've got the blue tarp on there. They're waiting for the gas company to come out. And you can see the debris, the pile in the foreground. And you're seeing this up and down this part of Moore in these neighborhoods, just piles of debris. Mostly the damage has been roof damage, some trees and power lines, but I've not seen any houses, at least in this particular area, certainly that have been hit much harder, and that is a good thing. Let's take you up above, take a look at the aerial video from our K4 friends, the choppers, and you can see not only we had the tornado come in, we had all the power flashes, very dark skies. We had those in downtown Oklahoma City, and as we've been talking all day, Moore is no stranger to this kind of weather.
Unfortunately, we've been through this before, and we know what we're doing, and we're about putting our community back together and taking care of this community here in this small area.
And that's what they're doing today. Volunteers coming out. We met a nice group of gentlemen and ladies from the Air Force Academy. They were in town building houses for humanity, Dave and Alex, and they decided last night, let's put that on hold for a day and come on out here, and everybody was very thankful for that. They've been going through the neighborhoods, helping with the cleanup process here in Moore.
Absolutely an immediate need for those volunteers. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Well, areas that are working on the recovery are in Oklahoma, both in the Tulsa area and Oklahoma City. Wichita had some severe weather here too, but fortunately the sun was back out. You can see by the overnight lows that the air is dry and there will be no severe weather through this weekend in the entire state of Oklahoma.
That is good news. We want to send it out to the lab now with Dr. Greg Forbes and Carl Parker. They have analysis of the tornadoes that we saw.
Yeah, we're going to look back in just a moment, but first we want to show you what's going on with thunderstorms today. And there is some severe weather threat today, but it's certainly not what we saw yesterday.
Certainly a lot less. There will be quite a few areas here in orange that have thunderstorms. If we were to get a damaging wind gust or a very stray tornado, it would be this southern New Jersey, southeast PA, down across parts of Maryland and Delaware, Virginia, North Carolina, some of the Gulf Coast states and far southern parts of Texas. Tomorrow, as a cold front continues to push its way south and east, it would be these coastal areas, especially the Florida Peninsula, that might have a stray damaging wind gust. Low chance of a tornado. Today I'm giving basically torcons of 1 or less, 10% chance or less within 50 miles.
So looking back at yesterday's storm, a very interesting setup, as these storms were in many regards elevated storms, as we say. A lot of the storm was above cooler air at the surface.
They were. We had seen a whole line of storms. In fact, the earlier storms had formed off in northeast Oklahoma, and then they began to build back along a combination of the dry line and the cold front. And what we had been seeing was that cold front, maybe a little bit of hot flow combined with that, had pushed out a little fine line here, a little boundary that was out ahead of the main storm. Probably behind the cold front, this storm back around El Reno had really gotten going, but it accelerated as its rain-cooled hot flows made it surge forward. It began to catch up. We'll show more details on that. There's a little curlicue that formed with a tornado in that, and then that continues off toward the south and east. We're going to go to the high-definition radar and look at all of this evolution more in more detail. And so here is that outflow boundary. There's the big storm with hail. Yep. The inflow to that storm probably holding up the storm in this sense. The rain-cooled outflow charging the storm toward that boundary. I'll give Carl the pointer here, and I'll step through this, and we'll go 5 minutes at a time. The storm here getting ever so close. Now the boundary has pretty much caught up.
Yeah, it's pulled up right in here, so that's where it is, right there, and it's been pulled into that circulation, and that's how it had a little window where the tornado was able to reach the ground, because if you've got cool air at the surface, you're not going to get a tornado all the way to the ground.
And now at this time, just to the west of Moore, this little curlicue sets up, and that then continues going off toward the south and east. I'll go one more time step here, and it is pretty much right over Moore. Look how that is wrapped up, and if we take a look then at the velocities on that, the velocities show very well defined, and we were showing this on air last night. The eastbound, the westbound winds, and that's the tornado that's in effect going right across I-35, right across the Moore area at that time.
And an even tighter circulation within that little tornado vortex signature actually showing up for a time yesterday. So quite a storm, guys, yesterday. Didn't last very long, only 11 minutes, but that was enough time to cause a lot of problems there. Back to you.
Thank you, guys. Carl Parker and Dr. Greg Forbes. Well, spring storms today, yeah, we've got them. We had some thunder on the beach in Belmar, New Jersey just moments ago, and we've got some big thunderstorms out over the Gulf of Mexico. The cold front is actually back here, and there's not really much happening along the cold front. Here's your heaviest rain, thunderstorms over the ocean. Some of that is getting in, but those are weakening as they move on shore in the Florida Panhandle and southern Louisiana. But this is where the heaviest rain is right now, and we expect it for the next couple of hours. Even in South Texas, there's a severe thunderstorm. That's the cold front. That'll move into Mexico. Threat for Texas tonight. No problems.
Puffs knows winter is hard on your face. The start of sneeze season, the wind-blown watery eyes, and of course, the snow angels with your little angels. That's why Puffs is soft. Puffs Plus Lotion is gentle on sensitive skin. They help soothe irritation by locking in moisture better, so you can always put your best face forward. A face in need deserves Puffs indeed. Try Puff Soft Pack today. It's the flexible pack that fits anywhere.
Puffs Plus Lotion. A face in need deserves Puffs indeed.
The FDA issued a public notice to doctors and patients concerning serious injuries caused by transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, and bladder sling. Please call now if you had one of these devices implanted in the last 5 years. You may be entitled to a cash award. If you had a transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, or bladder sling in the last 5 years,
please call 1-866-686-7952 now.
When it comes to your credit, In the Know is the place to be. TransUnion.com makes it easy. We give you 24/7 access. You get instant credit alerts to keep you in sync. You can even lock and unlock your TransUnion credit report from your phone. And all that information feels pretty good. Come to TransUnion.com and get in the know.
But now, let's put this out here.
I'm getting soaked. We're getting a good heavy hit of rain.
We have been shattering records. Look at this, Sam.
Thanks for watching AMHQ and helping to make us the fastest growing major network on cable. AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
You weren't expecting that, were you? No, I wasn't.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under cloudy skies with windy conditions. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 72, winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, afternoon thunderstorms developing, windy, high 91, chance of rain 60%. Friday night, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm, low 61, chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Sundays. One man's trash. This is perfect. Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier. Brainstormers. Sundays at 9. Only on the Weather Channel.
Tired of working for peanuts? Well, what if I told you that peanuts can work for you? That's right. I'm talking full-time delivery of 7 grams of protein and 6 essential nutrients. You ever seen a peanut take a day off? I didn't think so. Harness the hard-working power of the peanut.
Working on my feet all day gave me pain here in my lower back. But now I step on this machine and get my number, which matches my Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotic inserts. Now I get immediate relief from my foot pain.
My lower back pain. Find a machine at drscholls.com.
The Fiat 500 isn't alone anymore. It's part of a big Italian family.
Going to the paint studio at Ace is like going to your neighbor. And hurry in this Wednesday through Sunday for buy 1 gallon, get 1 free. Save up to $71 when you buy 2 gallons, exclusively at Ace.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
It tastes better when you grow it. It tastes even better when you share it. It's not hard. It's doable. It's growable. Get going with Growables. Miracle Grow. Life starts here.
It's hard to believe that 2 years later we're back at a Moore public school surveying damage. I am very thankful that the school did not receive this damage during school hours, that it happened at night when people were in their homes or received any injuries at this particular site.
Oklahoma's Governor Mary Fallin reacting to the damage she toured earlier today, again in Moore, Oklahoma.
Another spot on that tour, Sand Springs, Oklahoma. One person died there. It's a Tulsa suburb just west of town when the storm sliced through a mobile home park.
Ron Blome is there today. He brings us up to speed on the latest.
Well, we've been here in Sand Springs since very early this morning. It's a suburb just to the west of Tulsa. And it's where the tornado came through yesterday. In fact, the area right behind me where you see all the debris and the trees is where it actually began to touch down. That's the remnants of a Daylight donut shop. But then it crosses the river, it gains strength, and it plows through a mobile home park. Now, that park's been closed to the media for most of the day, but my colleague, meteorologist Keith Carson, is just back from a tour. Keith, what was your impression?
Well, you know what? Obviously, there's a lot of destruction in there. And the first thought that we had when we're looking at all these mobile homes destroyed is that the one fatality is, in a way, it's miraculous that that's what it was, because there was just a lot of mobile homes that were ripped right through on top of other things, and some trailers turned over as well. So it's definitely, you see the beginning of it here, but there's less structure to kind of give you an idea of the strength of it as it moved over the river across the mobile home park.
Of course, we know mobile homes don't stand up well to windstorms or tornadoes. Did you see things that told you circulation that it was a tornado?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there was any taking this as a straight line wind event at all. I think the question will be just what scale it is on the EF. Is it EF1 or 2? It's probably the most early thought on that. But obviously, it did have the circulation of a tornado.
And from the looks here, these trees, they're not broken off low down. As you get close to the river, they're more broken. How about in the mobile home park?
Yeah, they were pretty snapped there as well in most of the spots. They didn't have actually as many trees in the mobile home park itself as they have here. The ones that were there were snapped, I would say similarly to this. Some of the ones that aren't as wide are snapped a little bit farther down.
And we know you're going to be reporting more on that, about the Sand Springs tornado and the impacts here in Oklahoma. Back to you guys now.
Thank you, Ron. Well, here's a look at New York City right now. We have fog, but it's beginning to lift a little bit. Visibility is getting a little better, but there are some delays out at the airport. Temperature is rising and will continue to rise tonight. If you're going out, it'll be almost eerily mild tonight. Winds are out of the south, gusting to 26 miles an hour, and our current temperature here is 52 degrees. We're headed for the 60s in New York City. Then once the cold front blows through, it cools back to the 40s tomorrow morning. So here we go. We are now close to that warm front. We've had thunder showers rumble through New Jersey. Out on the island, they're fast movers. All of a sudden, it's foggy and then or a big bright flash. So be careful out there. There's D.C. at 71. Boy, Syracuse is going to get into the snow here shortly. This warm air will not make it to Syracuse. A cold front is coming down and reinforcing the cold air that's already there in central New York and western New York. Buffalo with more snow later on today. Then here we are at 56 at 4 o'clock this afternoon. D.C. still warm. Here comes the cold front. That'll cool things down tomorrow morning, and we'll be back to typically colder than average weather as we head toward the weekend. And with this cold front moving very slowly and hanging offshore, things could get interesting on Sunday. Boston, Providence, New York City, Long Island. Here's the forecast for tonight. Temperatures falling after the cold front blows through. You'll wake up tomorrow morning with some light rain, temperatures in the low 40s. Alex, back to you.
In Oklahoma, this is the first time many are seeing the damage done by storms yesterday. And amid that damage, incredible stories of survival. Ahead, what it took to save 60 children from this building when the storms struck. Stay with us.
Before 3, 2, 1, we built a gateway to the cosmos, following the steps of heroes on the Kennedy Space Center bus tour, one of thousands of exciting things to explore at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex in Orlando. Always exploring.
Sometimes, bigger is better. But other times, bigger just gets in the way. At Brother, we know the biggest printer isn't always the best fit for every office. So we've come up with a bigger idea. Don't supersize, optimize. See how we can help you put the right printers in all the right places and help reduce your costs. Now that's big. Brother, at your side. Learn more at don'tsupersizeoptimize.com.
Incredible! I've been Claritin Clear for 10 days.
When your allergy symptoms start, doctors recommend taking one Claritin every day of your allergy season for continuous relief.
With powerful 24-hour non-drowsy Claritin, live Claritin Clear. Every day.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back. Theraflu medicine breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. It has the power of 3 medicines to take on your worst pain and fever, cough, and nasal congestion.
Okay, guys, it's getting late. You gotta hit the road.
Millions of people count on the Weather Channel.
Good morning, guys. Let's get the live shot set up.
That's why the Weather Channel counts on Theraflu products. Theraflu, serious power.
Want help to curb your hunger? Try new Hydroxycut Appetite Control. It's a delicious and nutritious instant smoothie that contains kelp fiber that works to help you feel full for hours. Take control. Hydroxycut really works.
Before ISS, before Hubble, we built the most extraordinary machine. Stand nose to nose with Space Shuttle Atlantis, one of thousands of exciting things to explore at Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex in Orlando. Always exploring.
But now, let's put this out here. I'm getting soaked. We're getting a good heavy hit of rain.
We have been shattering records. Look at this sample.
Thanks for watching AMHQ and helping to make us the fastest growing major network on cable. AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
You weren't expecting that, were you? No, I wasn't.
One look at that Red Baron pizza, and you're gonna love it from the first bite to the last. Because a perfect pizza requires a perfect crust. The sauce commands your attention. The cheese begs you to savor every bite. The pepperoni declares you have reached pizza nirvana. And that last slice?
What's it worth to you?
A perfect crust means a better pizza. Red Baron. Love at first bite. Pick up a pizza you can call your own. Red Baron Singles.
The future is in Delray. You're invited to the Milagro Center's 2015 Superstar Spectacular Showcase event, April 1st at the Arts Garage in Delray Beach. The Milagro Center sees the future in today's stars. And on April 1st, you'll see these children put on a show and perform like the stars they are. Plus, enjoy food, refreshments, and a silent auction. Be a part of the future. Don't miss Milagro Center's annual Showcase Gala, April 1st at the Arts Garage in Delray Beach. Tickets available now at artsgarage.org.
Sundays. One man's trash did the work. Is another man's totally awesome beer can space heater.
Hi. Brainstormers. Sundays at 9. Only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 72. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, afternoon thunderstorms developing, windy, high 91. Chance of rain 60%. Friday night, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm, low 61. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Hey, you've got to see and hear about this. An incredible tale of survival. A gymnastics facility in Sand Springs, Oklahoma, in the path of the storms yesterday. 60 young gymnasts led to safety. They took cover in the basement right as that storm hit, and all of those gymnasts are safe. And to understand just how incredible that rescue is, look at this. Yeah, this is the damage done to that gym. The building is a total loss. And when you see that and then know that 60 kids were in there training at the time, and to know that they're all okay, just incredible. They're all okay. Power outages have been an issue after Wednesday's severe storms. Kathleen O'Shea joins us now on the phone from Oklahoma. She's with the Oklahoma Gas and Electric Company. And Kathleen, we saw a lot of power flashes last night. We've heard about people without power. What is the status of the electric grid in the Moore area right now?
Well, at the peak of our outages, we had about 36,000 customers without power. We are now down to just under about 6,600 customers out. So we've made some progress getting customers restored. We're still doing some of our assessments to understand the full extent of the damage. At this point, we know we have about 90 poles that are down, numerous wire spans, 50 cross arms. So we have a lot of work ahead of us still. But we have about 300 different people on the ground doing work. So right now we're kind of planning to have the majority of our customers up by Friday a day. However, we still have some who are in the tornado path that we haven't completed all of our assessment yet. So those are going to take a little bit longer. We're watching video of some of your people clearing away those trees and power lines, and now we're actually watching video of the tornado as it ripped through right around rush hour yesterday. What are the biggest challenges for crews working to repair the grid? Well, it really varies. I mean, part of it is just depending on, is it something they can easily get done, or in the sense that it's out in the open and you can get a pole up and some wires up and get a large number of customers up. But it's when they have to go in and handle damage that's more localized, like in a backyard or something, where you're literally going in a backyard, having to climb up a pole. That takes longer. The other thing, initially, it's kind of clearing out stuff and really understanding what we're working with. But as time goes on, then you get all the kind of people coming out and sightseeing, if you will. Sure. And then it becomes, we have to make sure that we're keeping those people safe as well as our own workers safe. Because, again, safety is very important to us. It's something we deal with and we are very aware of, and it's really scary to see people out walking over downed lines. So the public, God bless them, but they can become a problem as we get going.
Sure. So you're urging people to stay away so that this big job, can finally be done.
Correct. Exactly.
Kathleen O'Shea with the Oklahoma Gas and Electric Company. We appreciate your help locally, on site, and for letting us know what's going on here at the Weather Channel. Now here's Alex with a look at some weather. Alex, what do you have?
Well, we've got spring snow into late week. Can you believe it? But yes, we are talking about snow showers across parts of the east. Buffalo, New York. You've seen snow throughout the day, and not unusual in the parts of New York to see that snow last well into April. The light snow, 35 degrees. It's late March in Buffalo, right? Dew point at 32, wind chill 31. There's the snow working from Buffalo right along 90 to Rochester, Batavia. You've got the snow, the rain snow mixed down into the southern tier. Right now we've got rain in Syracuse. You're going to see that transition to snow. Here's the forecast tonight. Notice Syracuse in the blue. So you've got the snow, rain and snow in the pink. Tomorrow we've got some of those Sweet 16 games in the queues. Some snow showers into parts of central New York. We'll be right back.
Heartburn. Did someone say burn? Try Alka-Seltzer Relief Chews. They work just as fast and are proven to taste better than Tums Smoothies assorted fruit.
Amazing.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. Enjoy the relief.
LegalZoom has helped start over 1 million businesses. If you have a business idea, we have a personalized legal solution that's right for you. With easy step-by-step guidance, we're here to help you turn your dream into a reality. Start your business today with LegalZoom.
Cheez-It Grooves are the best of both worlds, like a Cheez-It and a chip.
Oh, you just put them together?
Yes.
Closer. Closer. They're kissing.
We take time for our cheese to mature in our crispy Cheez-It Grooves.
Right now, somewhere in America, there's an animal being beaten and another being locked in a cage, alone and left to die. These scared, innocent animals don't realize there's any hope for a better life. At the ASPCA, we're committed to searching every dark corner to find them and to help heal the deep physical and emotional wounds that have been inflicted on them. But we can't reach these animals without your support. So please visit our website or call now and join. Sign up for just $18 a month. It's only 60 cents a day, and you'll help rescue animals who are suffering and provide medical care, food, shelter, and love. The situation is urgent, and so we're asking you to join in the next 10 minutes. If you do, we'll send you the photo of an animal from our shelter and an ASPCA t-shirt. If you've wondered if your support will make a difference, I can tell you it will. And if you've ever thought about helping, this is the time. It's a painful and horrifying life for these animals. But for just 60 cents a day, you can change everything. It could be the most important thing you do today. Go online or call right now.
You know your dentures can move. Unlike natural teeth, try Fixodent Plus TrueFeel. The smooth formula helps keep dentures in place. It's free of flavors and colorants for a closer feeling to natural teeth. Fixodent and forget it.
But now, let's put this out here.
I'm getting soaked. We're getting a good heavy hit of rain.
We have been shattering records. Look at this sample.
Thanks for watching AMHQ and helping to make us the fastest growing major network on cable. AMHQ on the Weather Channel.
You weren't expecting that, were you? No, I wasn't.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 72. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, afternoon thunderstorms developing, windy, high 91. Chance of rain 60%. Friday night, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm, low 61. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Sundays.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers. Sundays at 9. Only on the Weather Channel.
Last night, this basically showed up out of nowhere.
It blew the whole top off of the house while we were in with my 4-year-old grandbaby. My whole family lives in here.
What comes next is cleanup.
It's 1:30 on Weather Center Live. I'm Dave Schwartz, along with Alex Wilson.
And 2 words sum up the way many in Oklahoma feel right now: not again.
That's right. As many as 7 tornadoes may have hit the state yesterday. Sand Springs is one of the hardest hit communities.
At least 1 person died here in a neighborhood made up of mobile homes. And today we are getting some of our first pictures of the damage done there. Here's what we know right now. Oklahoma's Governor Mary Fallin is in Sand Springs touring the damage. She has declared a state of emergency for 25 counties that were hit by storms yesterday.
And emergency management officials in the city of Moore, Oklahoma, report roof and window damage to at least 1 school in their community, Southgate Elementary. Now, meteorologist Mike Seidel is in Moore, Oklahoma, as people there have the same damage to assess. And boy, it looks pretty bad behind you, Mike.
And we got a lot of piles of debris, but Dave, I can tell you, and I want to put it in perspective, this is not good. This is bad all around for the folks who had damage. But if you talk to the people that have been here since 99 and have lived through the twisters of 99, that was the 5. Then we had the F4, 5 years later rather. And then how about just 2 years ago, that massive EF5 that killed 24 here in Moore alone and injured, I think it was about 375 people. This pales in comparison. So that's one thing we really have to be thankful for, that this was only on the ground for about 10, 11 minutes and caused no fatalities here in Moore. This is what we've got. Debris lining the streets, and that's what people have been doing all day, kind of getting it cleaned up in the yard, trees and limbs. And this is from the back of their house. Their roof looks pretty good. Their antenna is down off the roof. They've been up there. And if you look down the street, you see just piles of debris. But the houses themselves, which are primarily brick structures, are standing fine. We haven't seen that kind of damage, and I haven't seen any of that around the town of Moore. It's always good to see friends and neighbors and volunteers show up today, and we met a great group of kids from the Air Force Academy from Colorado Springs. Instead of going to Panama City or Punta Cana, they came up here to build houses for Habitat for Humanity. Last night after the twister hit, they decided, hey, let's get together, go out and help the friends and more. And we spoke to one of those fine cadets earlier today.
And it's really cool to see the whole community come together, meet up this morning, and there were lot of people at the community center ready to help. And I mean, it might be dangerous to some, but we're just trying to help any way we can. I think we can do more as a big group than anyone could ever do by themselves. So that's why we're here.
Yes, indeed. Thanks to McKenna Cox and her fellow cadets from the Air Force Academy. Good shout out to them. Got their picture posted on Facebook and Twitter. Dave and Alex, good to see those kids. One of them was a meteorologist, and after they finished building the houses yesterday, he was geeking out with the rest of the meteorologists here in central Oklahoma.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
You know, looking at all the information, tracking those storms on the radar, I'm sure he was in it to win it. But great to see those kids, say, I don't need a traditional spring break. I'll go help out where needed.
I know. That's great. That's the spirit of
humanity. Exactly.
Community, yes.
Hey, well, when we were on the air this time yesterday, we were tracking storms pushing toward Tulsa.
And one of the city's suburbs got hit hard. Now, this is some of the damage done in Sand Springs, just to the west of Tulsa. And one person died. The one fatality in the whole country yesterday due to weather was right here in a mobile home park.
Yep, roofs are in shambles, mobile homes ripped apart, debris scattered, and our own Keith Carson has toured some of those hardest hit areas, and he'll have more on what they found later in the show. But we want to find out if weather is going to cooperate for the families who begin that task of cleaning up. We saw blue sky behind Mike Seidel in his report. So I guess the one silver lining is that you don't have any severe weather to look forward to in the Tulsa area as we go through the end of the week and the weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday all dry.
Yeah, excellent. So that's the best news of all. We can clean up and get back and not have to be anxious about something else coming.
Absolutely. And we want to turn now to severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes, storm specialist Carl Parker. You saw them on air all last night, and you're going to talk about how these storms compare to ones that we've seen in the past in the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah, we're also going to take a look at the video of this Sand Springs tornado, and one of the things that really pops out as we look at this video is how difficult it can be to see a tornado sometimes.
So if you look very carefully, you can see the tornado right here. It's a little bit browner, a little bit contrast with the clouds in behind that there, especially it's browner. But I think it is a little bit diffuse in this case, Carl, because I think there's probably a little curtain of rain that's wrapped around it in between the tornado and the camera person. But there you see sort of the top. It's wider at the top, and then it comes down to sort of a cylindrical type of tornado down near the ground.
And then you have this big rain curtain behind it, so sort of a featureless space behind it as well.
Yeah, and part of the big rotating clouds there that are up high up in the picture there that are rotating around it. A couple power flashes. The tornado's in progress there as it's doing damage as it's coming into the Sand Spring area.
All right, so very powerful tornado there. And we also want to show you another tornado, or rather the damage from Moore, Oklahoma. And, as we were looking at this last night, we were thinking that it might be to the level of perhaps EF2. And I know you've done a lot of these surveys.
I have indeed. Most of this, we're seeing roofing damage. So most of this is going to be in the EF0 to EF1 range. But on the other hand, the tornadoes are rated based upon the strongest, the worst, the most intense damage. And so places where the roofs are completely taken off, we could see some EF2 damage. And of course, sometimes there's within places that the camera people can't get to, there's some worse damage that they haven't yet let the media into. So we haven't necessarily seen in the video we're showing the worst damage, but probably mainly EF1. There could be some EF2, maybe a little bit higher than that. The National Weather Service in Norman is talking about out surveying and trying to distinguish the thunderstorm wind damage from what's the embedded tornado. That was a pretty complicated weather system.
Right, and you talk about how important it is to distinguish between substandard construction and really solid construction. For example, whether or not there's concrete with rebar inside of it or not.
Yeah, a big weakness is often whether or not the home has been bolted down to the foundation, or is it just sitting there held in place by its own weight, its own gravity, if you will. If there's something holding it there, that gives it more structure against the horizontal winds of the tornado, more substance than if it's just sitting there. And of course, another weak link is often if you've got some garage that the door is open, that is attached to the house, then the garage roof, the wind gets under that, it pulls that and pulls part of the house with it. So the survey teams, the structural engineers, if they get involved, they're looking sort of for those weak spots that maybe made the house more vulnerable at that worst damage location than maybe some of the others, and they try to take that into consideration as well.
So a lesson there is close your garage door lest you let the tornado in, basically.
Absolutely, and you often see that if the south-facing garage doors, if they're open, that that side of the street is worse damaged than the north side because you don't usually have such strong winds coming in from the north in the tornado.
Makes a lot of sense. Dr. Greg Forbes, thank you. And Dave Alex, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Boy, what a busy week, huh?
And how's that for expert analysis, going back and taking a look at these from the master? And they were working hard last night. Quite a busy situation for those folks.
Yes. Ahead, stories from the storm. How people handled everything from getting caught on the highway when the storm struck to this.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 72. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, afternoon thunderstorms developing, windy, high 91. Chance of rain 60%. Friday night, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm, low 61. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
My goal was to finally get in shape.